Let's go. Yo. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast. And that's facts.
The Bears. Welcome back, Bears fans, to another electrifying episode of Bears on Track, your premier destination for all things Chicago Bears. I'm your host with the most, Brandon Trax Hyde, and today we have a jam-packed show lined up for you. But before we dive into it, the gridiron action, let's get a warm welcome to our very special guest, renowned football analyst, Ked the Canuck. Ked, how's it going today, buddy?
Doing the darn thing the way that we do it and the way that it should be done every single time. Thanks for having me, Trax. Always appreciate it. Let's chop it up, my brother.
Yeah, for sure, man. And for everybody that doesn't know, and how could you not know the Canuck, the host with the most, tell them where you're at. Please, Keds, let them know where you're at, buddy.
All right, okay, cool. You can definitely catch me at Keds the Canuck on YouTube. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe. All my content will be uploaded there in one way or shape or form. We're going live right now on multi-stream with the guys, with my guy, Trax, at CSP. You'll also catch me at the Nomad Network doing the darn thing with some extra sauce on Wednesday nights, as well as on Sunday nights at Nomad at night. So by all means, follow, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, and, we'll keep the content coming.
Keds, I'm very excited to have you, man, and I'm very thrilled to be here with everybody that's in the building. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. You guys are coming in. I'm so excited, man. The Bears have been making some significant moves this offseason, and I'm eager to break it down with all of you, especially you, Keds. So here's the deal. The Bears front office, under the leadership of general manager Ryan Poles, who I was ready to throw out of the building just a few short days ago, man. I was like, let's get this guy out of here. Let's pack his bags. Let's hit the Shoelace Express, Mr. Ryan. You've done a horrific job. I've graded him out. I did a show. I had a rant. And then how quickly the prodigal son comes back to Mr. Poles. And now he's in my good graces, and that's just how it is in the day in the life of being a super fan. But, man, Ryan Poles, man, he's been on a mission from God, strategically enhancing both the offense and defensive lines to set up the stage for a formidable 2005 season. Let's delve into it, bro. The notable acquisitions that he's been coming up with is freaking redunculous, man. Are you freaking kidding me? Look at this Pro Bowl freaking god over here, man. Jonah Jackson, acquired via trade. He brings a wealth of experience, having been a starter since 2022. His versatility allows him to play multiple positions along the interior offensive line, providing the flexibility with much needed depth, man. And let me tell you else, this guy right here, my Joe Thuney, guard, another strategic acquisition. Thuney's renowned for his consistency and durability as a back-to-back all-pro, 4-time Super Bowl champ under the tutelage of Tom Brady and Patty Mahomes, man. He adds a significant strength to the offensive front, expected to provide quarterback Caleb Wins with enhanced protection and open up lanes for the running game. I mean, just him being here, dude, I'm telling you, when I watched the presser with Jonah, he had a fire under him just because freaking Thuney was in the building. And last but not least, I mean, there's more to come, but when we're talking about the trenches, dude, we're talking about the trenches. We got to talk about the other side, right, bro?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Grady Jarrett signed a 3-year contract. Jarrett brings veteran experience, pass rushing prowess to the defensive front. He automatically becomes that freaking field general, dude, on the other side. And it's really hard to pick which one is the most effective. I would say that both of them would on both sides, because you need that guy, you need that dog, and his ability to disrupt opposing offenses. They got to double, triple team him. They're always got to keep an eye on him. You can never, he's never going to just all of a sudden disappear and be like, whoa, hey, where'd that go? You will know. He will, and don't disrespect him, and don't disrespect his team. He's going to let you hear about it for sure, as we heard in the presser when they were going back to, he is not a fan of the Green Bay Packers and Jordan Love. He said, what's Love got to do with it, baby? He's bringing it, man. So I'm excited about him. And we're going to, dude, you're going to have so much to unpack. Don't worry, dude. I'm dropping the mic like it's.
Oh, no, you do your thing, bro. Don't let me stop you. Do your thing.
But, dude, this guy right here, like, I honest to God, I really didn't know much about him. I'm not going to lie, dude. I'm not going to lie. I didn't even know the Redskins had a receiver over there.
Oh, you didn't know about Olamide Zaccheaus?
Dude, I didn't know about Zaccheaus, and I had to hurry up and do my studies. And let me tell you what, he's coming off a career-high season, 45 reps, 3 tutties. He's got speed, agility. I mean, 5'8", you know, you're kind of like, eh. But, dude, when you watch the film, holy cow, this guy, you have to make sure you keep an eye on him, because if you take your eyes off this guy, he's going to make you pay for it, man. He's a valuable asset with the Bears aerial attack, providing quarterback Caleb Williams with additional reliability. Now, dude, listen, this guy over here, when we first got him, I'm like, what? I don't even know. Let me see. Do I even have a picture of this dude? Do I even have I don't even know if I have a picture of Durham Smythe. I did before, but I think I quickly like erased it when I had it, but it's all right. We'll keep this guy up here for now. Just know that this isn't Durham Smythe. Tight end, you know, he came from the Dolphins. He's had to enhance blocking schemes. I guess he's like top 10 for tight ends for blocking. But dude, when we played like the highlight reel of this guy, he can flat out get it. He will break zones in half. He will go out for those hard catches. And I'm going to tell you right now, he was the guy that your quarterback, you know, in Miami with the concussions and everything, he needed a reliable target. He was that dude. Smythe's presence is expected to bolster both the running and passing facets of the offense. I really like it. Now, this guy, I didn't even bother taking a picture of him, and I probably should have, man. But Scott Daly, the long snapper, I mean, you know, re-signed to maintain consistency in the special teams unit. And what I mean by re-signed is, you know, it was Ben Johnson's dude over in Detroit. And you kind of like to put the tea leaves together and connect the dots and be like, okay, we feel good about this guy because Ben knows him and he's a reliable, you know, he's very crucial for the success of field goal and punt operations. And honestly, if I'm Ben Johnson and I saw what happened with some of those missed field goals, and you and I were talking about it right before the show, actually, which is funny. He's like, no, this can't happen. This can't happen on my watch. I got to bring this Daly to the Daily, dude. And so,
well, Daly was here, bro, right? Daly. So when. Oh man, who was our longtime long snapper for years?
No, I know who you're talking
about.
Patrick
Scales.
Yeah,
went down. We brought in Daly last season, and he played a little bit just before. He played for quite a while just before Patrick Scales came back.
Right. But what I'm trying to say to you is he is originally a Ben Johnson guy, right?
Yeah, from Detroit. You're right.
Okay, yeah. So that's kind of, yes, he was from here, but he had the chance, if he didn't like what he saw in Detroit, right, he would have just kept what we already had in the building. I guess I should have worded a little differently, but I do see your point, and that's what I'm mentioning. So shout out to you, man. That's why we love you, Keds. So, Keds, with these strategic additions, particularly on the offensive line, how do you foresee this impacting our ground game, Keds?
And that's why we're here today, right?
That's exactly why we're here, man. We got the hook. We got the hook, baby.
That's the hook. So, wow. So coming into this offseason, you nailed it, brother. You nailed it. I was on the outs with Ryan Poles too. I would probably have thrown him out the window if I was given the opportunity. Somehow he's back and he's done all the right stuff. And it was exactly what I said right after they decided to retain him was he needs to nail this off season. So far, brother, so good. I can't all out of all the humanity that you just listed, I can't find really very much fault in it. I'm going to tell you where the fault that I found was and how it's going to affect, like it's still going to positively affect the run game. The only fault that I had was by way of injury and Jonah Jackson. That was it. In my opinion, initially, I was like, Jonah Jackson, Tevin Jenkins, 6 of one, half dozen of the other, right? Like, at least by way of injury.
Right.
Mind you, then you turn around and you get another Pro Bowler, call him, Joe Thuney. And now you got something special on the line. You've got 2 veterans to really lead a group of young humanity. And that's amazing. This is something that directly affects that run game. I know we're probably going to take a peek at some Ashton Jeanty clips later on, but when you get the chance to see him, folks, shout out to the chat. I see all you guys out there. Big ups to my guy Trapakeepa and Black Rains out there as well. Shout out to all you guys. Shout out to Foxy Trill as well.
You travel well, kids.
I do. I bring some humanity with me wherever I go. Thanks for coming through, you guys. Shout out to D Nice as well. In any event, you're going to see this kid shook and dive and do a couple of things that, in my opinion, we just didn't see last year by way of the run game. And the first one is jump cut. Second one is vision. And even in small windows, in between the tackles running, if you will, this kid is something special. So I can't wait for you guys to take a peek at what he's going to do. But back to Ryan Poles and what he's done so far. So that means that this line looks a heck of a lot better, bar none. My only slight worry is with Braxton Jones and his surgery, his injury. So I don't know if we're going to go into this draft and get us a left tackle, but I think we're going to get us a left tackle. When it came down to filling all the holes that were required to make this an offseason success, a free agency success, Ryan Poles nailed it. He hit every position. He nailed guard again, nailed center with Drew Dahlman, who we didn't talk about just now, right? So there's that other portion of Atlanta that came over to the Bears. Put him up against the other side. If iron sharpens iron, you've got a fantastic defensive tackle 3-tech by the name of Grady Jarrett, who just signed on with us again. And imagine that, that Drew Dahlman was kind of happy. He's like, man, you know what? Like, I'm going to Chicago now. I don't have to deal with this guy every week in practice. So much for that idea. Now he's got to deal with him every week in practice all over again.
Well, I'd like to pause for the cause because you bring up a good point. Both of those guys respect the crap out of each other. And I'm going to tell you right now.
Yeah.
Grady Jarrett spoke very highly of Drew Dahlman and his pedigree, and he's just so happy. And I watched a couple Atlanta Falcons shows because I'm that guy that likes to find the rub. Mm-hmm. As soon as those guys leave the building, I want to know if they even actually knew that they left the building. And let me tell you something. A lot of the podcasts out there, bro, hold on. Let me turn this off. I got to look into the freaking camera. They were pissed. They just were not happy. Like, what the hell are we doing? We don't even have a pass rusher. And they're like, well, we got Leonard Floyd. Well, yeah, because you didn't have the edge, but you still got to have somebody in the middle to soak up all those, the biscuits got to soak up the gravy. Listen, if you don't have the freaking biscuits to soak up the gravy, you ain't got nothing. And that's what they got. They ain't got nothing. They're just polishing a turd over there. Leonard Floyd, he's going to have a little connection there with this former coach, and he did better with him. So they're hoping that he could potentially, rekindle that flame and bring a little something. But I'm here to tell you guys something. Leonard Floyd is anorexic. He's never been able to I don't care if he eats an extra biscuit every day. He'll never reach 300 pounds. And that's a problem, dude. He needs to get a little bit bigger. That's all I'm going to say about that. And the Falcons, they need a lot of help. I think they're resetting a lot of stuff. And I don't understand why the heck they kept Kirk Cousins in the building. I don't understand that at all. Not to say that he doesn't deserve, he does a good job. He does a good job.
They couldn't let it go, right? Just by way of dollars and cents. They signed him last year to a big money deal.
Yeah.
So the cap hit, the dead cap hit, if they actually tried to let him go, would have been crippling to the squad. So you got to do something about it. And what they did was give the Bears Grady Jarrett, and I got no problem with that.
No. And you frame it like that, and we're good. Let's move on. So I don't want any buyer's remorse or lemon laws or anything. Or hey, all you get with us on that deal is a taillight warranty, fellas. Shout out to everyone in the chat, man. We got a couple dozen over there on XApp. Got about 16 on YouTube. In between our podcast and Keds the Canuck, he's even got, what is this other one over here that you've got in the purple? What is that?
What are you talking about?
They're connecting over here on our channel. It's
this is what we call Twitch, my friend. I know we rock out. We rock out on YouTube under normal pretenses, but what the heck? I figured I'd go live on Twitch too and see if we could bring us a little bit of extra love. And
I appreciate you're gonna have to show me how to do that. I think I have it connected and I tried, but I failed, but we'll talk. And then, like I said, Facebook, well, there was someone on Facebook, but I think they just jumped over to YouTube. So shout out to that. So make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button, turn that notification on to all notifications, and make sure you support Keds too on his channel, man. Keds the Canuck. That's capital KEDZ, capital THA, and then capital KANUCK. Keds the Canuck, just like he's got it spelt right below his slender face over there. So listen, I understand we've got a lot of questions and comments in the chat. We'll get back to that, but we got to unpack a lot of stuff too. So let me hand it back over to you, because I kind of paused in the cause right in between the middle of what you were saying, man. You were bringing the heat, bro.
Oh man, it's cool. Honestly, we needed to take a minute and sort of dive a little bit deeper, but looking at what Ryan has put together, he's really, if we sort of took a step back and we were like, all right, so what did he have to do? What he had to do is in free agency, he had to get himself a guard to replace Tevin Jenkins. He had to get himself a guard to replace Nate Davis. He had to get an upgrade at the center position, potentially to replace Coleman Shelton, who was a little bit shaky in the eyes of most. I personally would have retained him, but hey, I don't care. As long as we got an upgrade, we're doing good. And that upgrade's name was Drew Dahlman, who we just talked about. Then you flip it onto the other side of the line. You got yourself Grady Jarrett. Now you're really cooking with gas in the center, right? You're cooking with gas in the middle, in the trenches. We have ourselves Montez Sweat on the other side, and then on the left now we have Deo Odangbo.
Yeah.
Right. So now we've got ourselves a pass rush. And why we have a pass rush is because who do you double team? Are you going to double team Grady Jarrett? Are you going to double team Montez Sweat?
Nope.
Hopefully one of those two guys is still able to get pressure, because Grady was getting double teamed all this time anyways and still putting on pressure for Atlanta. So as long as he can get into the backfield and create some of that pressure, he's going to flush a quarterback out towards the edge.
Oh, yeah.
And as long as those guys can set the edge, we're probably going to see a nice uptick in sacks. If we don't see an uptick in sacks, we're likely going to see an uptick in interceptions or balls knocked down. It's going to be a really nice setup by way of defense for sure, just by adding Grady. But where that all of this free agency sort of leads us to is the upcoming draft. If it leads us to the draft, we're now looking at what positions would be the most impactful to rock and roll with moving forward, right? Which ones? And I think we've clearly identified one being the running back position. Another one would be that left tackle position with Braxton Jones, as we've just discussed a little bit there, because of his existing injury. Unless Braxton comes back from injury just fine in training camp. Same token with Karan Amagaji, maybe he steps up and becomes that left tackle of note that we need. Remaining positions besides that are safety, tight end, and linebacker. So that's what you're going to expect to see coming out of the draft here in a couple of weeks. And I can't wait, bro. I'm stoked.
Me too, man. And I'll tell you what, these moves are monumental, bro. Upgrading the offensive line with these types of talents like freaking Jackson and Thuney not only provides better protection for Caleb, and let's not forget Dahlman. I mean, it's been redunculous over a decade since we had a good verifiable center, man. Olin Kreutz was the last one, and so now we got somebody for Caleb that can actually snap the ball and put it, in his hands and keep him upright, and keep him a clean pocket, and that's all important, fine and dandy. And it also opens up the playbook for a more dynamic rushing attack, like you said earlier. So a fortified line is a foundation of any success. You know that, as I know that, Keds. We all know that, especially our amazing fans out there in the chat, man. I'll tell you what, I put them up against any other of the 32 teams. Our guys are geniuses, man. They make our job easy, especially the chat, man. When we're drawing short and we need a little help, we don't even need to Google or phone a friend, man. The chat is on it, man. They're part of the show, man. A fortified line is, again, it's a foundation of success, and the Bears have addressed that need emphatically, man. And I'll tell you what, here's something that's very interesting. Look at this. Are you ready for it? They are now the 5th most expensive offensive line in the NFL. It's not even close. It's like almost $100 million for Carolina. They're obviously, being serious about that. Then Kansas City, then the Falcons, then Denver. And you see, there's something in common. They do pretty good. They do pretty good on that side of the ball.
You know what else they have in common there? So with the exception of Kansas City, and that's just common sense. You got to protect Patrick Mahomes, right? You got to keep him clean.
Yeah.
The other thing that is of common, that's common here, is that all of these guys have young, burgeoning quarterbacks. All of the other teams. Bro, or am I back? Are we good?
Yeah, for a minute, you're back.
Okay,
I'm back.
cool.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm back or you're back. One of the two. I don't know what happened.
All right. As long as we're good to go. So I was just saying that that the Panthers, they want to keep Bryce Young upright and make sure that he's protected. Same thing with Michael Penix in Atlanta. They're going to want to keep him protected. Bo Nix in Denver, they're going to want to keep him protected. So all of these teams has put a significant emphasis on the offensive line, and the Bears have kind of neglected their offensive line over the course of the last few years. It's been about time, and I'm glad that they put the investment in this time around. We need it.
Absolutely. And that brings us to the centerpiece of today's discussion. Why the Bears must draft Boise State standout running back Ashton Jeanty, man.
Yeah.
Standing at 5'9" and weighing 215 pounds, Jeanty is a powerhouse. Last season, he amassed over 2,600 rushing yards and nearly 30 touchdowns, averaging an impressive nearly 7 yards a carry. His versatility and explosion and his play style has drawn comparisons to NFL greats of Josh Jacobs. I've heard some really crazy takes, and I'm not even going to throw those names out there because I don't even want to jinx the kid before he makes his way into any building. But I'm going to tell you what, Keds, what do you got to say about his ability to break tackles? Should we unpack your thoughts, or should we go to the highlight video and then unpack your thoughts? What would you like to do, boss?
I think we do the highlight first because for the fans out there,
yes,
it speaks for itself, honestly.
Let's do it, man. And keep in mind, he played against teams like Oregon, powerhouses, man. They're not just low level, low tier college. A lot of people, there's a take on that. But man, when you look at these numbers and you watch the skill set and the vision, the eye vision, and just his prowess and the way that he just extends the plays and explodes, he's not just about, making cuts. He will run you over. So, and if you think twice, I'll have him gladly meet you on a field, and we'll see what happens, okay? Here we go. Here's the video.
Let's do it.
Jeanty. He does. Count it. 4 touchdowns. Back on offense. Ashton Jeanty. Breaks free. tracking him down. It's TJ Smith. Can he get to him? Jeanty.
Derek Harmon, he's all over the place.
As they give it to Jeanty again. Bounce into the outside.
Got to set up shop.
Give to Jeanty. Ashton Jeanty breaks free.
Going to keep it on the ground with Jeanty on 2nd and 10. Look at him bounce off tacklers. Jeanty with some room.
Can't expect him to be finished. You see the one-on-one with Kyle Thornton, and he is not able to.
In 14, coming off the edge, his pressure gets it off to Jeanty.
Wow. Oh my gosh, bro.
Yeah.
His ability to break the tackles and contribute as a receiver in the backfield, blocking, all that stuff for Ben Johnson's innovative schemes. Tell us to you what that means and how important that is, man, to take the pressure off Caleb, Ben Johnson, and the rest of the offense, man.
Let's start with Caleb Williams. That is that last year for the young rookie coming in, that was the most important part of the game that was lacking.
Mm-hmm.
He desperately needed to be able to hand the ball off to somebody who he could trust. And I hate to say these things, but whether it was the fault of the offensive line in front of him or the actual running back room itself, it wasn't there. There were a lot more times where first down, Caleb Williams was gunning the ball, right? Like nobody was rushing the ball on first down. And if they were, they might be getting 1 to 3 yards maximum. Just wasn't sufficient enough to get the job done. Got to take some of that weight off the young man's shoulders, give him the ability to actually, rise to the occasion when the occasion is presented, as opposed to always having to do so on every single snap. That's madness, right? So give him a little bit of breathing room, hand the rock off to somebody that you can trust, and away we go. So that's reason number one is actually just Caleb Williams. Reason number two is because the kid looks pretty good in blue and orange. Reason number
Let's go back to that, dude. You ain't lying, dude. You ain't lying. You are not lying.
You gotta love it.
I think we had a 33 also. Who was that? I think
That's
it was
Charles Tillman, my friend. Tillman.
No, a running back from Michigan State. Who was that? 33. You remember?
33. I don't.
Chicago Bears running back from Michigan State. I'm sure the chat will hook us up. Maybe it's not 33, but I thought it was. Anyways, my bad. So he does, like, to your point, he does look really good in blue and orange.
He looks great. Outside of the blue and orange situation, the kid, like right off the bat, you think he's small, by way of measurables. He weighs a fair amount for a guy who's 5'9". The flip side of all of this is with that lower center of gravity, you can see how hard it is to actually tackle him in some of those clips.
Yes.
Really hard to tackle him. And not only that, he gets lower and uses it to bounce off of tackles. So he actually rides the momentum, which you don't see very frequently with a taller running back. Most running backs are a fair amount taller than he is. So it's kind of interesting to look at how he's able to how he's able to utilize contact balance is probably a better way to say it. Next point is that evade. So one of the things that a certain running back on the Chicago Bears, I'm going to shut up as to who, is not, you know what I mean? I just try not to throw folks under the bus. Somebody doesn't have a jump cut.
No.
Tell me who that is. It might be both of the guys in a running back room.
Yeah, you definitely need with the with the style that the Bears play. You need a one-cut quarterback, a guy that can, break, see the seam, cut up, all that kind of stuff, especially when you hear words from Ben Johnson saying that in order to get the rock, you must block. So look for a lot of extended plays down the field this year. Otherwise, you ain't going to get some balls targeted your way, man.
So there's another portion of this, right, is the kid's a willing and wanton pass blocker. Like he is.
Yeah.
He gets in there and gets the job done, which is so surprising, especially given his size. I say that, and then I think back to Tariq Cohen. And man, Tariq Cohen would get in there and get them blocks done. Like, it's one of those things that I have to give Tariq Cohen a lot of respect for. But Ashton Jeanty does it too. C-Bear, I see you out there. Shout out to you. And to be honest with you, if he had the most fumbles of the season, I wouldn't be surprised. He had over 300 carries for over 2,600 yards. So if you just look at that type of situation, it's not really that surprising that he probably would have the most fumbles. He carried the ball. He was the guy.
Well,
6 touchdowns all by himself in a single game. The guy.
Here's another thing too. When you get 2,600 yards and all those carries, you're going to have a better chance of fumbling the ball also. So I agree with that. But listen, here's the other deal. Now you just opened up a can of worms, whoever that was, because I just found out Omarion Hampton is number 2. And number 3 is Trayvon Henderson. And number 4 is Quinshawn Judkins. And number 5 is Cam Scatabo. Number 6 is Dylan Sampson. And number whatever I lost track, DJ Giddens from Kansas State. I mean, dude, let's just not draft anybody. I mean, seriously. I mean, is it a concern? Absolutely.
There's one guy to ask, because you didn't mention him now, is Caleb Johnson. Is he on that list? How far deep is he on that list?
I didn't see him, bro. I only went to like the top 7 or 8, so I'm sorry.
Maybe we pick up Caleb Johnson a little bit later in the draft, if at all possible, too. I'm all for it. Like, I'll be honest with you guys. Yeah. I'm all for potentially getting 2 running backs in this draft if we don't get our hands on Ashton Jeanty. I'll be honest. And even if we do get our hands on Ashton Jeanty, maybe a big bruising back towards the end of the draft, because if you look at the way that Ben Johnson went to market in Detroit, it was thunder and lightning. First, even before thunder and lightning that we're familiar with being Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, it was thunder and lightning being DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams. It's really how he goes to market. So I will be surprised if that's not how things shake out here in Chicago. I'm just not sure that either Swift or Roschon Johnson fill that thunder and lightning requirement. Like, I just have to be honest.
Yeah, no, I think Roschon is I wouldn't say he's on his way out, but as far as security, I mean, you're talking about concussion protocol, all that kind of stuff, what's going on. And, you talk to guys like Doug Plank, and he's like, dude, listen, how many times you thought my bell was wrong or I came to, and those were words, but that actually later on we found out that it wasn't smelling salt that saved us. It was God, because those were all concussions. So how many times did these guys actually have concussions and all that? At the end of the day, if they get cleared by specialists and they feel like they're good, you put them back on the field, whatever. But that guardian hat and all of that with Roschon doesn't give me a warm and fuzzy. He's not my number 2. He'd be a number 3. He could elevate to number 2, but you got to do your due diligence and go get a guy out there. You can't just, head out into it and just, all of a sudden be like, okay, here's my number 2. And then that's it. You got to bring another guy in. So, and that's kind of what we're talking about here, because if you go out and get a guy like Jeanty at 10, or you pull up and get, you get him at 5 or 6 or whatever it takes. Now, all of a sudden you got that dude like Jahmyr Gibbs. He's in the building, and boom. So getting back to the Jeremy Langford, thank you so much, Darius, and thank you for
Jeremy Langford.
Yeah, Jeremy Langford, number 33. So just so you know, who was the big blue? Dave Rigdon. Yeah. So listen, Anthony Thomas was a better running back than Jeremy Langford, but the rub was that Jeremy Langford's jersey number was 33, and this is a obviously a fictitious picture of Jeanty in a Bears uniform with number 33, just saying he looks good in number 33, just like Langford did. That's it. But I do realize you're a Michigan Wolverines fan, and you had to say that. So shout out to you for being the super homer of the Wolverines that you are. And by the way, they won today in NCAA basketball by 1. And man, I'll tell you what, Maryland, they look good yesterday, but we're not talking, the Selection Sundays tonight or tomorrow night at 6:00, but just, as far as the divisional tournaments go and all that stuff. But Yeah, man, they look good out there. So that's something for you to be happy about. Them Wolverines, man, holding it down. But switching back on track for this segment of Chicago Sports Podcast, Bears on Tracks, with Keds the Canuck, the man, the myth, the legend. I tell you what, Keds, let's not overlook his potential impact on our passing game, guys. Jeanty's proficiency as an outlet receiver and mismatch weapons against linebackers would provide Caleb Williams with a reliable safety valve, enhancing the overall efficiency of our offense. Listen, he's not going to be the number one weapon. He might be 60%, 65%, something like that. But when you got all those receivers, tight ends, blah, 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 all of that, guess what? And then other running backs, he's not going to have that. And you know what? Rightfully so. Eric Bieniemy, he's that dude. He's going to get in your face. He's not going to be a Boise State College coach. He's going to get in your face, and he's going to do some things that are make you uncomfortable to make sure that you hold on to that rock. What say you, Keds? You feel like that's a possibility, bro? Over 70 in the building, man. Thank you guys so much for showing up and showing out.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Deuce One Effects from Twitch doing the Twitch thing. Shout out to my guy, the Scrolls, Illy Jones. C-Bear, what it do? All these guys are out there hanging out with us. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming through and supporting. Look, that passing game situation is actually it's very important. I'm really glad you brought it up. Yeah. So we're going to just slightly switch gears for a second and talk about Olamide Zaccheaus.
Oh, let's do it. Let's do it.
So Olamide Zaccheaus and what he brings to the table. If you get the opportunity, man.
Just, Keds, I have a highlight reel for him too. If you want to play,
you want to rock it?
Yeah,
do it.
Either now.
Do it. Because I'm about to get into some of that. So let's do that.
All right. Shout out. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yo.
Wow.
Yeah. So I get you a little bit hype about what you might get out of Olamide Zaccheaus. Now, what it didn't really show, and I was hoping I was hoping that it would show, was his capability as a blocking wide receiver. And that's why Olamide Zaccheaus is a great little pickup for dollar for the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
No longer having an Equanimeous St. Brown. He's long gone. There's really nobody else, especially last season, if you look at it, that was a willing blocking receiver. Definitely wasn't Keenan Allen, right? Yeah, sure hands, as my guy the Scrolls is saying, he definitely has that, but he'll get up in your you-know-what by way of blocking too. And that's why I'm pretty sure our guy Ben Johnson went out and got this guy as a part of this team. Now you line him up with a running back who can catch. Again, C-Bear seems to be out on the Jeanty idea, but I'm kind of with, and it's fair. Like, I'm kind of with, like, if it ain't Jeanty, to me, it's got to be the two guys from Ohio State.
Yeah,
I love both of those backs too.
I do too.
Right, like Judkins is super fast. He's also a bit of thunder, and Travion is a guy that I scouted last year, so. Yeah. I was all for him coming in. Coming in last year, he decided to stay back a year and get the job done again. He did it. He's a fantastic pass-catching running back in similar mode as an Ashton Jeanty. Like, similar. Ain't no 2,600 yards similar, though. You know what I mean? Like, 2,600 yards is just a crazy number to ever talk about, period, when you're running the rock, regardless as to whether it's college or at any level. 2,600 yards, that's nuts. And this kid's sort of gone, he's grown his game from, I don't know, around 300 yards to, 800 yards to,
bro,
like every year to 1,600 to 26. And this is based on him not getting a lot of love.
Bananas
coming in because nobody knew who he was or what he was about. He came in as a lower end, lower quality or lower caliber prospect. Had to come back to the U.S.
Kids, you said it right there. You said it right there, man. Let's put a pin in that.
Yeah.
What you said was very informative. This guy continued to grow in his numbers
every year.
You're circling your calendar. When you play this kid, Boise State, you would think that he would either pause or, fall back a little bit or maybe do a little increase, but not much, not nearly 7 yards a carry. Come on.
That's pretty nuts.
30 touchdowns, darn near 29. Are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy. Like the numbers this past season are astronomical. I can't account for them, but just watching the way that he plays and the ridiculous contact balance, the ridiculous juke, his jump cut is so nasty,
bro.
And that's like that jump cut is the missing link from last season.
Hard yards too. Hard yards. He'll go for the hard yards. It ain't just like he's lighting
you over. You're right.
He's going to run you over. And you think, okay, with that kind of speed, if I catch up to him, he's going to come down easy because usually the very speedy guys come down easy and the guys that hit hard, and plow you over, the Bettises, whatever, they're not really that fast and not agile. They're just, okay, here it comes. Just try to get down and hope for the best, But this dude does both. He does both. I like what Darius says. He makes a really good point for 1 second, please. He says, ain't no lineman at 10. We got the starters already. Why would we draft at 10 for him to sit the bench?
This is it. And you're like Darius, man, me and you got to do a show we got to do a show down the road. I have to say
tried to get him on with you tonight, but he's a very busy man for Delta, dude. He's an engineer, super smart, intelligent guy like you. So he just couldn't make it. The timing.
We will figure it out down the road. I'm just saying.
Yes. Please.
Man, great comment, Darius, man. Great comment.
I want front row seats for that show. That's going to be nasty, dude. I want front row seats, man. So
trust me, I'm the way that this draft kind of shakes out, the top tackles will probably be gone. The ones we'd really like to look at will probably be gone by 10. And the group is kind of deep, especially given the fact that we draft relatively early and back-to-back almost in the second round. So we'll definitely get that left tackle that, to supplant and or back up Braxton Jones. Like that guy's going to be on the team guaranteed.
Yeah.
Do you get him at 10 or do you get him at pick 39? I suggest pick 39. Same token, the next pick should be your edge rusher. So you can do all three. Right, you can get that top end edge rusher. Now you got a crazy rotation with Booker, Sweat, and Deo. Right?
Yes,
there it is at pick 41. You get yourself your left tackle at 39.
Yes, sir.
What do you do at 10?
Right,
you get a game changer at 10. There's
game changer, baby.
There's really only one other player that I would suggest, and I assume he'll also be gone.
Yep,
and that would be Tyler Warren at that same position.
Did everybody watch the Super Bowl? Did everybody watch the Super Bowl and see what happened when Saquon, the Don, freaking took off? And listen, it's not so much that he stole the show and won the game. It's that he stole the show and won the game and didn't have to do as much as he needed to because they stacked the box. You got to keep an eye on this guy at all times. You have to game plan for him. If you go get a mid guy like Darius is talking about, I'm not worried about you. I'm going to go out and I'm going to go get little, DJ Moore, undersized, but powerful, Mighty Mouse guy. Love the guy. Shout out to DJ. No knock on him. And then, You go get Roma Dunze, and you saw exactly what the contracts are looking at for receivers. Darn near 40 mil a year, right up there with quarterbacks. So now all of a sudden, the guy that CC and other people, not a lot, just some, and you and I were kind of kicking poles in the teeth, rightfully so, when he was kind of down, whatever. But now you look forward, fast forward with this revamped offensive line, defensive line, and you're like, dude, we got Roma Dunze on our team, man. We got Roma Dunze. We don't have to worry about those inflated receivers. And listen, don't think for a minute that the Vikings, that the Bengals are not going to feel that when they have to go sign those dudes, man. We're in a really good place right now.
That's like next year, though. Like, just considering the Vikings you're talking about,
yeah,
they got to sign Double J there real soon.
Yes,
you know what I mean. The other receiver will be the year after, so that's about to come and kick them in the shins. Bears have a couple of wide receivers. One is already paid.
Yeah.
My problem with last season is that we went and doubled down at wide receiver.
Yeah.
Brought Keenan in.
Yeah.
Keenan's amazing. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah.
The problem is he's so amazing that Caleb Williams kind of just zeroed in on him.
Yeah.
For the time.
That
didn't use tight ends.
Yeah.
Didn't use the guys on the outside at all.
Nope.
Really zeroed in on the Pro Bowl receiver, which worked to a certain degree, but not the degree I think that everybody wanted it to. So now he's going to be forced to sort of share the rock. And if that's what's going to happen, at the same time, you want to share it with a running back too.
And also, to your point, you would see that in the film room that they never had. I mean, freaking Caleb Williams was in there with his cell phone doing finger puppets to try to figure out what the heck was going on. He didn't have anybody that was showing him freaking, film and stuff. Now you got some verifiable guys that are in there, all the way across the board, man. You got Randall, quarterback / receiver, you got guys. Listen, here's what you got, man. It's amazing. I love what we've built. I like these guys. Look at this guy right here, right next to him. Who is that? Who's right next to Trey Smith?
That would be Eric Bieniemy.
Eric Bieniemy. And Trey Smith, he says all of his accomplishments and everything he's done, he owes it to Eric Bieniemy, partly Eric Bieniemy, because of his tough love, his tenacity, his keeping him, his focus on attention to detail and all that kind of stuff. You got a guy that's not just interested in being a running backs coach. You got a guy that's on the field making everybody great again. And that's what I like about them. They cross over in multiple positions, and it's not just, this is just my job. No, all hands on deck, man. All hands on deck. It's going to be great. Listen, here's another one. Who's right next to Patrick Mahomes?
That would also be Eric Bieniemy.
That would be Eric Bieniemy. This guy is that dog, dude. And guess what? I just watched maybe.
What you talking about, Scrolls?
Maybe
Sorry,
about.
keep going.
No, you're good. Maybe about a month ago, I think it was, I saw Andy Reid saying that he doesn't get it. He still endorses Eric Bieniemy to be a head coach. So that's the kind of leadership that we're going to have on the team. That's going to, hey, listen, getting back to our offensive line, Kiran Amagaji, man. Oh my God, I nailed it. I actually nailed his name. It really happens, man.
Well done.
Dude, so listen, this guy, he graded the highest of all offensive tackles in the NFL from a small college. He's got the intangibles. Now you actually have a verifiable offensive line coach. You got guys in the building that are veteran, offensive linemen, 4-time Pro Bowlers, 4-time Super Bowl champions, all these guys that are in the building that's going to be able to help them out. And that is going to make a difference when you're bringing up a guy off the bench and going to help out in case Braxton, hey, dude, listen, Braxton has some intangibles too. Since he's been on our team, rightfully so, he has not had a good offensive line coach. He has not been able to hold him accountable. Now with all these guys in the building, everybody's going to make everybody's job better, man. Everybody's going to make everybody's job better. All the way from the left tackle, all the way to the right tackle. And the conduit in the middle is Drew Dahlman. And he's right next to Thuney. And you've got a veteran on the other side with Jonah Jackson, Pro Bowler that did great with Ben Johnson. I like it, man. I like it.
Bro, it looks like a beautiful thing. I'm impressed by what he's done so far on that line.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, I expect him. Like Seabear's in there basically just screaming for depth and development on the line. And I'm with you, bro. Let's get it at pick 39 or 41. Let's get that left tackle, add another level of development there.
Let's go get some Zabel. How about some Zabel in the building?
I'm so down with some Gray Zabel too, like right around that 39 spot. If we can get us some Gray Zabel, I'm totally in. But that's what I'm thinking, right? Like you use those 2 picks as trench picks, and you do something special early in the draft, whether that's even just trading back to get more draft capital. Like, I'll be honest, I'm all about the trade back 100%. And me and you actually chopped it up a little bit about that earlier on.
Yes, we did.
Number one opportunity to me, trade back, scoop up some more stuff, and then you get your running back. If you can't get Jeanty, really is the way that I look at it. Let me touch on some other stuff in the chat here.
Yeah, please do.
Who was it here? Juku off the dub, my guy Juku. So Juku saying we might grab Trey Hendrickson. What do I think? I'll tell you straight up and down, no shot, no chance on the planet. We just don't have the money to do it. They would have to. The only way that they could possibly do it, is by restructuring both DJ Moore and the wide receiver. Sorry, DJ Moore is the wide receiver. Oh, sorry, and Montez Sweat. My bad. Those would be the two. Those would be the 2 restructures you would have to do. It would
even JJ. Jalen Johnson's potential. There's a guy right there too. There's a lot of money there that you could.
It's not a lot of money this season though. So if you restructure, you might get $9 million. It'll stretch you out. If you restructure JJ next season, you get about $15 million, closer to the way that I'm saying for DJ and Swift, or sorry, and Sweat. You kind of have to leave Double J alone this season.
Yeah.
Deal with those 2 guys if you're going to do something. You could also potentially cut and or trade DeAndre Swift. They'll bring you in and around $33 million, right? Like that's close to where you would be if you made those 3 moves.
And you got Swift.
That would get you a Trey Hendrickson, but why go pay for Trey Hendrickson when you can basically draft somebody along those lines? In my opinion, you draft Landon. Is it Landon Jackson? Landon
Jackson, yeah. And his pro comp is a guy that we've already got in the building. His pro comp is this dude. He plays the 3, the 4, the 5, and the 6 technique. This guy has a motor that don't quit. I just deleted his highlight reel. It was fun. It was captivating. It was saucy. And preparing him right next to this dog, this beast, this freaking alpha male was going to be something special. I mean, he can hit it everywhere. And Dennis Allen, to my knowledge, I have never really seen him overpay with a guy like Trey Hendrickson. I think it's by committee. It's almost, one of those things where you got to have a lot of good guys do great things. And you got to make sure that you have at least 8 on the defensive line, 9 on the offensive line. That's how I feel about it. And I think that's what Ben's approach is, and I'm pretty sure Dennis, because Dennis Semenis wants to put pressure on the defensive line, from the defensive line, and he wants to disguise the back 7. That's what he does, and that's what we're going to be looking at. Luckily, we already have a lot of dogs in far as the defensive backs and all that kind of stuff, kids. I lost your mic. Are you muted?
My bad, I'm muted. What it do, Crooked? Just giving Crooked Commission a little bit of love there. Look, that secondary is amazing, and I'll say it right now, and I hate to say it, but with or without Jalen Johnson, it's actually a super 6 secondary that we have. As long as we can get pressure, and we've just been missing pressure.
Yeah, I agree, man. We've missed pressure, and I think we're going to get it. I think we're going to dial it up. Dude, I'm excited.
Unfortunately, Gervon
I'm excited. I really get to see. And listen, guys, you're going to be able to see what Tommy Harris, you're going to be able to see what Henry Melton has been talking about with this guy, with, his technique, with his hands, with his prowess, with his motor. This guy, and I asked him, why is it so important to have a good 3 technique? what is it? And he goes, listen, Trax, I'm going to dumb it down for you, okay? The 4 in the 4-3 is the motor. The 4 is the motor. The 3 is the ignition. We don't go nowhere without that three technique. And I said, okay, well, that helps. But if you would have related to food, you really would have drove it home, brother. So, but no, dude, seriously, he's right. He's right. I get it. And I'm banking everything off of what they're saying. And I really just feel like when Billings went down, everybody went down. And now with Billings and freaking Grady, oh my, this is great. And I'm still thinking, kids, that we're still going to go out, do our due diligence and go draft somebody other.
You're right, bro. We're going to get a DT too. Like I did say all the other positions. One of the early drafts, like if we just trade, if the Raiders pick Jeanty and we trade back again, and you can look back at the little correspondence we had earlier today, the guy that I would be aiming at would more than likely be Tyleik Williams. He's fantastic. Big body, moves like lightning.
Yeah.
There's your nose tackle right there to sort of backfill and or rotate with Andrew Billings. That's really what we need. All of these things to be said, and somebody mentioned it earlier in the chat. Geez, Zach Pickens, though. I don't. You know what I mean? I don't know what happens to Zach. Hopefully, Zach can really pick up his game and show out. That's all I can really say about the Zach Pickens situation. But they've sort of gone around the belt and said, "Hey, look, let's make sure that we've put together a line that will sustain even in the case of a loss." And a big shout out to Jerome Ford, I believe it is Jonathan Ford, who came over from the Packers and started to really fill that nose tackle position in Billings' absence. So I can see him getting a fair amount of snaps, but I'm not sure what happens to a guy like Zach Pickens, given all the stuff I just talked about.
Listen, I shout out to Crook. Love you, bro, but I don't think this is a fair take. I'm not saying that you're wrong, but here's what I'm saying, and this is all I'm saying. Take it for what it's worth. It's just an opinion. At the end of the day, you all know I don't know shit, okay? I'm just a fan like you guys, but this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Here it is. I think the rub is the whole thing with Eberflus, okay? Obviously, Pickens was something that he had to play a part of. He was on his way out. Zach got injured. There really wasn't a whole lot of growth and development his first year. Now he's got Dennis Allen. Now he's got a good defensive line coach. Now he's got a guy that's going to hold him accountable like Grady Jarrett. He's seasoned vet. He's not going to be, homie, don't play that. He's going to make sure he's going to be the guy that holds people accountable. It's going to be great. So do I consider Zach Pickens a weak link? Yeah, but listen, the same could be said about a lot of guys, especially like, Braxton Jones. And for anybody that's not going to give them at least a chance this season with the verifiable veterans that we've brought in and the coaches, I think that's a little unfair. I think this is the year that they have to take a step forward, but especially with the fact that the dude's on a rookie contract and you got to have some sort of bodies in the building somewhere. I'm not saying that he's going to be the strongest guy, but let's see what happens with him. That's all I'm going to say. So
there's competition to be had at that position for sure, at that left tackle position that you just mentioned as well. So we'll see what happens with both of them. Illy Jones, don't even. I don't, you know what I mean? Dom Robb is another name to bring up and have a conversation about. Unfortunately, in my opinion, he's been sort of outdrafted, if you will, by Booker, now by Deo coming in. They grabbed two other guys who they wound up letting go last season over and above him, which ate into his snaps. He was a healthy scratch for the better part of last season. So I'll be surprised, very surprised, if he makes the 53-man roster. I don't see that happening. But facts is, all of those positions are positions of competition. So if Dominique Robinson is changed up over the course of the offseason, he's going to get in there and he's going to show what he's worth. And if he's worth something, he'll make that 53. And the same thing goes for Zach Pickens. Same thing goes on that defensive line.
Didn't Dom Rob go somewhere else? I thought Dom Rob went somewhere else.
Not to my knowledge.
No?
I think he's still on the 90, right?
Okay.
Before
Speaking of 90, we've got over 90 in the building, man.
Hello.
Hey, guys, make sure you share this video. Let's get the hundo in the building. That'd be great, man. Share it with your neighbors. Go outside. Tell them who's in the building. Tell them we got this svelte guy on the show with us, man. Ked's a Canuck, travels well, man. So, and listen, we're just getting started. For all those that are wondering what the hell we're talking about besides the kitchen sink, we came in here talking about getting this dude, Jeanty, yes. So, but there's a lot to talk about. There is a lot to talk about. Now, I do want to talk about the salary cap. It shows we're right around 22 mil. And it's interesting how these contracts of all these guys that they went out and got, like, you could clearly tell that Ben Johnson does not look the same since he got in the building just a few weeks ago. He looks wore out and tired, and he says, dude, it is going. And when he talked to our boy Pat, the designer, and Pat asked him, to make the job easy, he goes, no, this job's going to be hard. This job's going to be difficult. And dude, look at it on his face. He's got bags under his eyes. He looks like he's actually been working and not worried about his dad bod and his new beard and looking new Eberflus look and all that crap, man. He looks like he's grinding and looks like he's working hard. Now, I do want to circle back one quick thing. I hope I don't turn it into a rant, but it does strike a nerve a little bit in the sense that I did this too. So I'm preaching to my own choir, and the choir is me also. Here's the thing about Poles, man. Poles didn't have anybody in the building on the offensive side or the defensive side. He did not have anybody to cross-reference with. And what I mean is this. Iron sharpens iron. Tell me who the hell was in the building as a rookie, first-time general manager in the building that Ryan could trust on and lean on, and they could go back and forth. You don't want to just lean on me when you're not strong. You got to get it on both sides. You got to be able to get some, like, listen, I talk to Keds all the time. Keds has got his own thing going on, does a miraculous job where he's at on his channels, helping out Nomad and, working with him and doing his own thing, whatever. But I talk to him at least once a week, and I'm not going out and just asking anybody. No offense, but he's in the producer mode. I'm not going to go ask somebody that is a consumer, okay? Like my mom, she was a producer. She cooked for all of us. I was a consumer. I consumed for damn near all of us. 5 brothers, 3 sisters. They're like, where the hell's the food at, Trax? You done served yourself up more helpings than you probably should have. But that's the thing. When you want to get better, you go out and talk to a guy like Heads. When Ryan Poles went out and wanted to get better, who the F did he talk to? Now he's got some people in the damn building, and he's going to get better. You're going to see he's going to get better, and I see it. He's made some changes, and he hasn't been horrible all the way through. But let's give him a little bit of chance, too. That's all I'm saying. Rant over.
No, it's a good rant. I'm going to flip on your rant now.
It's all right, dude.
I'm going to flip on it because who does Caleb Williams have to do the exact same thing? Right? Like the exact same.
Antoine Randall, I mean, he hasn't been that way, that far away from quarterback for a while. I mean,
he's a wide receiver, like, you know what I mean. And my point being,
quarterback in Indiana University. I do.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, he did. No, he was
Antoine Randall. I love his intro. It's the best.
He's a beast, dude. He's a beast.
Antoine Randall. It's a thing of beauty. You guys should watch it. In any event, I would love it if. So, okay, we're gonna just look at Washington for a second, and rookie gets drafted right alongside Caleb Williams. What's the difference, really? Coaching, mentoring. Like that's the other thing, right? So Jaden Daniels happened to have access to a top drafted quarterback who's basically been through the exact same trajectory as he's going to go through in the NFL. That's something that Caleb Williams just flat out hasn't had access to. And it would be great, again, sort of going back to where we were a bit before this, there's not a lot of cap space there to do stuff. So I don't know, but it would be nice if he had a shoulder to lean on.
Boom.
Ryan Poles unfortunately doesn't. He's now in year 4, right? So, hey, hopefully he learned trial by fire at this point. And I am going to say, given what he's done this offseason, he's done some good stuff. I expect there won't be a punter selection this time around in the 4th round. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's learned from his mistakes and can progress forward. Caleb needs a mentor, in my opinion. I would like to see Jameis Winston. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Jameis Winston would be the perfect guy to bring in a low wallet share case scenario, slide him onto the team, have him crack jokes with the kid, and bounce ideas off of him. Please, God, deliver us all from pick sixes. Please deliver us all from pick sixes.
Solid bar right there. Look at that. Your guy, Scrolls. Don't underestimate JT Barrett. Okay. I almost forgot about him, man. That's solid bar. Thank you, Scrolls.
All right, Scrolls. All right, fair enough.
He's trying to make you feel a little better, Keds. That's all
he does.
He's not. I don't think he's trying to prove you wrong. I think he's just trying to make you like, hey, man, there's so many things that have happened, so many moving parts. We forget some things like that. And that's what I was talking about earlier about these, well-traveling guys. Scrolls has been in here before too, but I really believe, these guys do listen. They're smart. All 32 teams, I take our the Bears fans and our community hands down over anybody, man. Ride or die. Let's go.
Illy Jones, we can't, right? We can't trade Bagent. Hey, I honestly hate all the Bagent talk. I just have to say it, and there's a reason for it. The reason is they didn't play him at all last season, so his stock doesn't exist. I know there's folks out there who love the guy, and I love the guy too. I think he's fantastic. He's a great system quarterback. He's a pretty athletic guy. He can run. There's some aspects of Tyson Bagent that are amazing that I'd like to see more of. Unfortunately, we drafted a number 1 overall quarterback, so we're basically never going to see any of that from Tyson Bagent. What they need to do is, what they really needed to do was
Hey, I will stop you there because if we get up 4, 5, 6, 7 touchdowns like Ben Johnson's been able to do,
that's what I want to see, bro.
We will go ahead and see your guy out there on the field throwing the rock. And now and then will his stock raise.
Bro, that's great, bro, because I didn't really think about that. I was going to say last season maybe they should have sat Caleb for a little bit and tried to develop him just for the sake of getting. My personal beef with the Bears is they don't, they may develop talent, but they don't wind up trading it and getting capital for that development. They cut bait with these guys, and you know what I mean? They cut bait on Tevin. They cut there's a laundry list of folks that they've just said, yeah, okay, we're done. James Daniels, nothing. We get nothing back from these guys that we draft and develop. You kind of got to get something from Tyson Bagent. I think he has that kind of talent. I honestly do. I want to see them put him on the field and showcase it. Even if it's another place to showcase it, might just be in preseason this year. Maybe they can throw him out there in preseason, give him some really good looks, and maybe they can get something from an undrafted free agent they didn't even really put much capital into in the first place. I'm all for that.
Bro, I'll tell you what. Eric's got the bar of the night, man. I'm all for it too, by the way. That was
me awesome. Too. Let's go, Erica. Yes, let's go.
Erica said. She said we should trade Bagent to the Titans for a number 1 pick and then draft Abdul Carter.
Carter, I'm so with it. Let's go. I'm sorry, Tyson. I'm sorry. See ya.
Cheryl, shout out to Cheryl giving us the updates about the Cubs going into the 8th inning. Cubs 8, Angels 2. She is rock solid on all Chicago sports, giving us updates.
Brother, she even gave some Canuck, some Canuck love there against the Blackhawks. So I know it's really, really, really Chicago love there, but I'll take it. The Canuck will take it.
Yeah, for sure, man. She's awesome. She also does birthdays. She does during football season. She does like dinners, like what's for dinner? I'm having meatballs, and I'm like, well, I'm a meatball, so we're kind of a good pair, Illinois Jones says he deserves a chance to go start somewhere. Giants third. Hey, listen, you go look at these guys all over the field, all over the league. You're going to have a chance, man. You go look at, a guy that, basically, sprouted roots over in Tampa. And I almost thought that he was on his way out of the league. And now all of a sudden he's making them look really smart, dude, really smart. So there's a lot of guys out there. And listen, half the league is in need of a quarterback. And if you go look at these GMs, they all have one thing in common when they're being replaced. They're in need of a quarterback. So quarterback-driven league, you got to have a quarterback. Catch point, we got a number 1 draft pick in the building. We want to see him flourish, man. You got to want him to win.
Yeah, let's protect this guy, man. Let's protect this kid. And in doing so,
yeah,
you get him a run game. That'll force 8 in the box. And like Trax was saying earlier on, did you watch the Super Bowl? Because if you did, that was the secret sauce. Yeah. 8 in the box opens up the back end for the quarterback to do some damage, even if that is play action fake and running the ball yourself. Yeah. So like I'm so with it. That's exactly what we need to do. Whether it's Ashton Jeanty or not, I'm all for it at 10. But if they decide to trade back, if Ashton's gone, I'm with both the kids from Ohio State. Personally, I'd take them both back to back.
Listen, right before we go, it's been over an hour, so we're going to close things out. Shout out to Keds. Thank you for joining, man. Hopefully you can come back soon, brother.
Sure.
And everybody that you travel well with in the building. We have any special requests? One more quick highlight video from Trax, Trax Incorporated. Any of these highlights that you'd like to see really quick? I did see Crook was asking about the Zaccheaus, the running or the receiver. Maybe play that one really quick, highlight reel, and then close the show out.
Run it.
Yeah, let's run it. I think we're good on the Jeanty. Here we go. Zaccheaus, your new slot receiver / returner / blocker, man.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what, that was a great highlight reel. That was so much fun. I do want to talk about something and take care of quick little business right here, guys. Here is a new app that you guys need to download. It's called Wanna Parlay. It's a new betting app. And hey, friends, it's tournament time, and the new daily fantasy sports app we just found out about with the absolute largest payouts on parlays is called Wanna Play. WANNA, Wanna Parlay. I downloaded the Wanna Parlay app on my phone, and it's so much fun. You can compete against me and all the other Chicago sports podcast listeners to see who can contribute. Darius has already got it. Sean's got it. I think Kyle's got it. We're all getting in on it. All you got to do is download it and put in capital TRACKS for tracks, man. Here's the deal. It's got a chat feature so we can trash talk, and you guys know how we like to do that, and brag at the letterboard, has all our picks ranked. It's a lot of fun, man. It's good. It's just $2 for a shot at taking home a huge cash prize. It's a blast. It's so simple to use, and they're our new basketball, hockey, baseball, and combat sports contests every single week. And again, the best part, it's only $2 to enter a parlay into a contest. Plus, there's always free-to-play games too. It makes watching the craziness of the tournament and all sports so much fun. Here's what you should do. Once again, download the Wanna Parlay app, click around. If you decide to upload money to play and get into the action, use promo code caps lock tracks for a 100% deposit match up to $250. Put in $20, they'll give you 20 more. How about that? So download the Wanna Play Parlay app, use promo code tracks, and let's play the world's richest parlay today, guys. Must be 18 or older to play. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER today, man. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. We've been getting into it. You guys got March Madness. It's Selection Sunday at about 8:30 tomorrow night. Me, myself, Darius, and Sean Lugo from 4 Stars. We're all going to be on, and we're going to talk about it and see what's out there, see what's cracking. But yeah, I just had to take care of business real quick. Sorry about that, kids.
No, man, don't be sorry. Get your money, bro. Get paid, man. Get paid. Speaking of which, please, big shout outs to my guy, The Scroll. Shout outs to Deuce One, C Bear. Who else we got out there? AC Adam was in there. I didn't give you any love before. I'm giving you some love right now. Illy Jones. Who else was out there that that came through? Crooked Commish. Man, big love and respect to all you guys. Thanks for coming through. Trapper Keeper as well. Juku off the dub. Thank you guys. Thanks for coming through and paying a little bit of attention, giving my guy Track some love here too. By all means, check me out at Kez the Canuck on YouTube or on Twitch. Either case, I'll be doing the darn thing, pumping more content out for you. I'll be online there tomorrow night at Nomad at Night. Check me out there. That should be 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central. Yeah.
What's on the menu there? What do you guys got going? What do you guys got cooking?
To be honest with you, at this point, I think we're really going to be talking a little bit about Olamide Zaccheaus, who just jumped in, that we just got the chance to chop it up about.
Okay.
So me and Nomad will touch on that for sure. But definitely the draft. Oh yeah, we're gonna run a mock draft there tomorrow night. I tend to run them all the time, but we're gonna run a mock there tomorrow night with our guy, the Minister Charles Johnson, one of the Super No Maniacs.
Wow,
he's fantastic, and he's been giving us heck for months about our draft. So he's gonna finally get in there and do the fan draft of the century. So
I love it.
That's what we'll be doing there tomorrow night on Nomad at Night, and on Wednesday we'll be doing it up again, likely another mock draft, and we'll see if there's any shakeup, because I'm actually really interested in what the actual cap situation is.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, that $22 million is what I'd speculated it would look like if they sort of top load things.
Yeah.
I think we'll really have to find out what it looks like at the end of the day, though.
Absolutely, man. So tune in with them guys and check it out. It's going to be a riveting, fun show. I love what those guys do. And just so you know, I know a guy that has a number 14 highlight reel. If you're interested, bro.
You do.
Slide
Maybe
it over.
we'll rock it.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll rock it.
So speaking of our community, guys, we're on the brink of a significant milestone, approaching 3,000 subscribers on our channel. We couldn't have achieved this without you in 2 short years from our passionate listeners, man. As a token of our appreciation, stay tuned for exciting giveaways. Once we hit that mark, we're going to be giving away a jersey of your choice. If I have one in the arsenal of a signed jersey, I will also send that, if you would like that instead. And then as we eclipse that, we're going to be moving into like footballs, Caleb Williams, whoever, get them signed up, send them your way. So yeah, man, we're excited. I hope you guys are excited too. We love you guys. We do it all for you, man. Listen, I know Keds feels this way just as much as I do. This show, our shows, our community that we love so dear, and we do this for you. If not, we'd be talking to ourselves in rooms with nobody to listen to, and like I said, I don't know shit, and I appreciate you guys dealing with me, but this show is created from a fan to fans. You're not going to get this on the 3-letter networks of ABC, NBC, or CBS. You're not going to get this on the 4-letter networks of CHSN or ESPN. And not saying there's anything wrong with those. I metabolize them also, but you will not see it. It'll just be an algorithm thing. You're not going to see Crooked Commission name pop up and what he's got to say. You're not going to see the scrolls. You're not going to see Keds. Oh, weird. So we already saw him. He's on here. Deuce on 1-5 FX. You guys see what I'm saying, though? Like, everybody gets their voice heard. We make sure that your voice is heard. And this is important. We'll even pull you out of the stands and put you on our shows, you know, and it's just great, man. I love you guys so much. I just want to give you guys a shout out to the unsung heroes out there, man. It means a lot to us that you guys are helping us knock these goals down, man. It's so great. It's so good, man. And guess what? You guys have been in there a long time as Bears fans. I really feel like something great's happened in 2025. So you guys deserve it, man. We all deserve it for sure.
It's about damn time.
Ain't it? What's that guy? George? Oh, my heart. It's taking me. I forgot how it goes, man. I need to keep that as a highlight, not a highlight reel, but just as a sound clip.
Yeah, you'll find a soundbite for that, man.
Yeah.
You'll find a soundbite for that later on for sure. But
yeah,
you're right, man. Big ups to the community. By all means, like, share, subscribe, follow me as well. We'll keep pumping content. My Guy Tracks will keep pumping content, and that's how it goes. We're going to give you guys a little bit of a voice too, and that's why I shout you guys out every time I get the opportunity. Big up to that.
Absolutely, man. And that's who I stole it from. Guys like him. I told you, iron sharpens iron. I stole some of this from that guy. So listen, I got 5 burning questions really quick, okay? Leave it in the comments below. Circle back, do it on the next show, whatever, however you guys want to do it. But I have to ask you guys these questions because I'm interested in what you guys think. With the recent signings, do you think the Bears have addressed all their major, not all their needs, but all their major weaknesses? So I'll ask Keds that question. Why not, Keds?
All of them? No.
The major ones. The
ones that were important, yes.
Okay. I felt so too. I mean, obviously there's some detail there. There's some things that we could really impact, but I'm excited to hear what they have about it in the chaps. You know, obviously cornerback, linebacker, bolster things, you know, in case injuries happen. You know what I'm saying? Sliding for it's something happens in the trenches. You spoke on that earlier. You can never have enough trenches. We already found that out the hard way. Question number 2. How does the man, the myth, the legend, Jeanty's playing style compare to current NFL running backs? How does Jeanty's playing style compare to current NFL running backs?
That's a good question, and I'll touch on it a little bit. So a lot of times the comps you're going to get would be closer to a Tariq Cohen or a Maurice Jones-Drew. There's another guy that I would say who's actually current and playing that I would compare him to. And I hate him.
Oh,
you know why I hate him?
Why?
Because he runs all over us on at least twice a year, and he's going to continue to do so.
Oh God.
His name is Aaron Jones.
Yes.
So I'm going to say that from a pass catching perspective, the way that this kid can move in space, very similar. But then add Josh Jacobs, like thanks Deuce One. Then add Josh Jacobs' actual contact balance, right? Layer that on top of an Aaron Jones. It's a close mix between those two guys. To me, is what Jeanty looks like.
And I'll tell you what. Here's the deal. One of his favorite running backs that he tries to, pair his running style to is Marshawn Lynch and Skittles. Oh my God, dude. You couldn't pick a better back to try to,
there's that contact balance. You're right. Right.
Yeah,
but Skittles is a bruiser, man. Breece Hall, I don't watch enough Jets football to make that comparison, Illy. I got to be honest with you. I try to avoid the Jets like the plague.
Keds, I would like to piggyback off of what somebody said about Josh Jacobs, because I agree, man. He exhibits a strong running style with compact and densely built frame, right?
Yeah.
Reminiscent of Josh Jacobs. He's got elite contact balance, allows him to bounce off tacklers, and his ability to contribute in the passing game makes him a 3-down back. If the Bears draft him, we're talking about a dynamic weapon who can punish defenses on the ground and in the air. I mean, I'm excited. And I mean, like I said, it makes him such an exciting prospect. Now, next question. Would Ashton Jeanty immediately be the Bears starting running back, or would he split carries and be like, timeshare, like, mom, you get him 60%, dad, you get him 40%. Would he be the 40 or would he be the 60,
So, in my opinion, it all depends on who the Thunderback is. That's really the only way to answer that. I don't expect it to be Roschon Johnson. I just don't.
No.
Jordan Mason just got traded to the Vikings. I saw that in the chat earlier today too.
Good point.
I was wondering if maybe we might grab him in free agency and line him up just to be that Thunderback, because, again, it's not Roschon. Roschon's too hurt, and he doesn't avoid contact, which under normal pretenses you'd be like, that's great, he'll just run people over. But you can't just always run people over, bro, right? Like, you just can't. You can't. Yeah. Eventually, you're gonna start wearing the the special helmet, bro. That's what's happened. We need a Thunderback who can also move laterally, and that's what Roschon Johnson doesn't.
I want you to start doing some of your Canva really slick arts over there and make a picture of Guardians of the Galaxy and all the running backs that got the Guardian.
Got the Guardian cap.
They got like special light.
It'll be Roschon Johnson. It'll be Jaquan Brisker. He'll be right there behind him somehow. I know he's not a running back, but he's definitely a Guardian of the Galaxy.
Got Thanos stones, freaking gauntlet, and all. Yeah, it'd be fun, man.
That's pretty funny.
Cool picture, yeah. But what's the biggest weakness in Jeanty's game? Would you say it's the contact issue?
It's size.
Size.
That's the biggest issue in his game is size. Yeah. Is he going to be able to really truck an NFL linebacker? I don't know.
Sure.
I find that a little bit harder to believe. There's something about Jeanty that we didn't talk about at all, and that's vision. And I'm sorry, vision is actually the biggest place that DeAndre Swift falls short.
Oh, dude. Oh, thank you. I'm giving you a virtual hug right now. It's I
don't hug men, but I'm accepting your hug.
It's virtual, damn it.
I'm just messing around. And in any event, that's where DeAndre Swift falls short. He does not have good field vision. He doesn't. The question to me is, how fast is Jeanty? He didn't run the combine 40. Maybe we'll see him do it at his own pro day. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll have to find out what the speed looks like. But in all of those clips, he don't look slow, and he's, for the most part, in many cases, outrunning corners and DBs. So I think he's plenty fast enough. I don't know if he has any other weakness besides good old size.
And I'll tell you what, if you look at the dude, and I know the picture that I have doesn't, do him justice, but I will tell you this much. The guy's got some freaking rock solid legs, dude, muscle on muscle. So that's one way that you can try to bring a guy down. He's got, it's not like he's a scrawny. I know what you're saying, like his height, and he's like kind of like compact, that type thing. But the dude's got some muscle for sure,
Oh, he's rocked up. And the thing about the height, like, I'm saying it might be a detriment, but it's also a positive, because in order to tack a guy around those legs, just like you're saying, that's how you bring him down. You got to get low. You know what I'm saying? You got to get super low, and he's getting lower.
Yeah,
he's getting even lower with you. So bro, I appreciate it, and I don't know. I have a feeling that he may wind up going to my guy Deuce One Effects' his team, and that's the Raiders. He's supporting me either way. Yep. I have a feeling he's going to wind up going to the Raiders, because the Raiders needed to make a play at quarterback, and they did. So maybe they go make a play at the running back position. But
who did they just sign as a running back, a free agent? Did you catch that?
No. Did they get Nick Chubb? Is that a good guess?
No,
No?
but it's Nick Chubb-esque. I think this guy might be a little less injured than that guy, but he's a solid pickup. I can't remember who it is, but it was a solid pickup, for sure.
Oh yeah, okay, you're right. It's Raheem Mostert. You're right. Okay.
Yeah, he did really good with Miami, right? And he also did good with the Niners.
With
solid.
the 49ers. He's not a terrible back at all. So maybe that's so here's the thing, and this is why I sort of put a pin in the running back situation before 10.
Yeah.
Deuce One, with you in the chat, do me a favor and tell me who your number 1 and number 2 wide receivers are. If I'm right, they're nobody. And I'm being a jerk, but I think the one Jacoby Myers. I think Jacoby Myers is your there you go. And the scrolls
said, man, before you can even finish, man.
The scrolls are saying Ted McMillan. I think that's where they go with their top 10 pick. I think they get their number 1 wide receiver. So, if that's the case, the odds of Ashton Jeanty dropping to the Bears is extremely high. And I don't know if he says Jacoby Myers. So I think you guys are in it. I think the Raiders are in it for a wide receiver this time around. Just makes sense. And
so
again,
I got a little fun fact I want to tickle the ivories with. Did you guys know how close Ashton Jeanty was actual to Barry Sanders' record? Dude, listen. This is how crazy this man was running.
His college record?
Yeah.
Do it.
His 2,497, 3 yards short of 2,500 on the season. He was only 131 yards short of Sanders total, and naturally 132 short of taking the top spot all for himself. This means that Jeanty's per game and per rush numbers lag behind Sanders. He's put up 7.3 per tote and over 192 per game compared to 7.6 and just under 239 for Sanders. That's how freaking amazing Barry was, dude. But that's how amazing Jeanty was also. And listen, folks, there's a lot of good small college running backs that have came out, folks. Even some undrafted ones, So anyways, I just wanted to share a little fun factoid. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Question number 5. What does Jeanty's potential NFL draft stock look like, guys? Could the Bears get him at the right value? 2-part question. What say you, Keds? What do you think?
I'm a jerk. That's what I think, and I think that I would still trade back, and if you could get him with a trade back, I would love, that would be the greatest thing of all time. Greatest thing of all time is if we were able to trade back with somebody, maybe 12, 14.
Oh my God.
Still get Ashton Jeanty with a mid second round pick. I would lose my brain, but that's dreamland. Even getting him at 10. Given the landscape, I would be pleased with. I'm just going to go back to something you just did, and I'm kind of surprised. So, Barry Sanders' height and weight?
I want to say I don't think he's probably about 5 to 6 pounds lighter than Jeanty, but I want to say they're about the same height.
Like, you're not far off.
No.
Right? So he's actually smaller than Jeanty. Would you believe that?
In height?
Yeah. So he's 5'8" as opposed to 5'9" Jeanty.
Okay.
He weighs a little bit less. So Jeanty weighs 213. Barry Sanders weighs 203 pounds.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was just since you brought the name up, I was like, I wonder how they compare in size.
And Barry had some big legs because my
Tree
trunks. My grandfather lived out there, Pontiac. Dude, he watched all the games. Couldn't stand Scott Mitchell. Loved Herman Moore. Loved Barry Sanders. But I'll tell you what, dude, it was just amazing. All the stories he told. He also told me, he goes, Sonny boy, listen up. Look at Michigan Wolverines. Pound for pound, their offensive linemen are way bigger than the Detroit Lions offensive line. What Barry did with that, if he would have had Emmitt Smith's offensive line, oh my. And I'm telling you right now, you get a guy like Jeanty on this team, I can't even believe I'm saying this. I feel like a fraud saying this because of our offensive line and how quickly it's changed. But automatically, not the Detroit Lions' current offensive line, but the line that Barry ran behind. Jeanty would be in a lot better spot coming over here for sure.
Dude, there's plenty of snaps. If you know, we got to check out, and we should probably close with your Jeanty film one more time just to put that out there. But there's plenty of snaps where there's 8 men in the box and nowhere to go.
Yeah,
like there's a lot of them, and he finds his way to the end zone.
Yes.
I don't know, man. You know, like a lot of the time we're really focused on that offensive line and the offensive line play. And I'm not saying, you know, I don't know anything about the Boise offensive line. I'll be completely frank.
Keds, you will hear in the draft. Find out how many go in the draft. That'll tell you what their offensive line looks like. Who's going in the draft? Who's going in the draft? Ashton Jeanty or the offensive line?
Very, very stout. Very good comparison. Very good point, right?
I'm sorry.
So there's no, man. It's true though. There's so many snaps where there's nowhere for the kid to go.
Yeah.
He bounces out, jukes out, spins out,
Yeah.
and he's off to the races. And that's the difference to me. If you actually do have a working offensive line with a couple of Pro Bowlers on it who know how to hold their opponents and create holes.
Ohio State.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Let's go.
Michigan Wolverines. Yep.
Let's go.
Iowa. Yep. I mean, Boise. Nope. But yeah, I see your point. Yeah, let's watch that video really quick, man, for sure. That'd be a great thing. Let's see here. Where's she at? This is fun, dude. I love watching this guy. Regardless of whether we get him, and we all agree, I'm gonna be happy no matter what we get. I think we're in this is my disclaimer. Once again, I don't know shit, but I do know this. No matter who we get, we're in a really good position to pick, even if it's the pick that we don't like. Say if it's, what's that kid's name? Ty Warren, the tight end. We go pick him, go pick a receiver. I'm a little iffy on the receiver, to be honest with you, but I'll be all right, but
I'll be mad about a receiver or like a linebacker at 10. Yeah. I'll lose my mind. But
yeah. I understand. I understand. It was probably it was a bad take on me. So that I would be upset about the wide receiver, but any other position, I'd be okay, but nonetheless, I think we're in a really good position when you go out and get guys like this, get guys like that, get guys like that, get these guys. I mean, geez, man, unbelievable. And I'm so glad I got this guy tonight, dude. He's pretty awesome himself. So, all right, let's watch this really quick. Let's watch this Jeanty highlight reel. Get your popcorn.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Jeanty. He does. Count it. 4 touchdowns. Back on offense. Ashton Jeanty. Breaks free. Tracking him down. It's TJ Smith. Can he get to him? Jeanty.
Derek Harmon, he's all over the place. As they give it to Jeanty again. Bounce into the outside.
Got to set up shop.
Give to Jeanty. Ashton Jeanty breaks free.
Going to keep it on the ground with Jeanty on 2nd and 10. Look at him bounce off tacklers. Jeanty with some room.
Expect him to be finished. You see the one-on-one with Kyle Thornton, and he is not able to.
And in 14, coming off the edge, his pressure gets it off to Jeanty.
Wow. I'll tell you what, man, that was awesome. Can you, with the breakaway speed you were talking about earlier, how he just got around people when they're stacking the box. What do you think his 40 time is? You probably already know.
Good guess. I'm guessing 4.45. That's my guess.
Dude, you're close. I'm going to just say, yeah, because was it
4.47 or 4.43?
Yeah, you were right there, dude. You were right there. It was 4.42. So
okay, all right.
Yeah, you were right there. So you can't. dude, that's ridiculous, man. That's fast. When you could do all that, when you carry that muscle, when you do all the things that he does, that's pretty dang good, man. That's pretty dang good, you know. So, like I said, it's so close. You were close, man. Unbelievable.
That's a pretty solid guess. That's exactly what I thought he would run. If he's in and around that 4.40 range, that's even better, right? So
Scrolls called me out.
Scrolls. What did I do, Scrolls?
No, he called me out. He says, "Dang, Washington drafted him already. That sucks because I played the wrong highlight video." Stick around, Scrolls. I'll make you feel good about yourself. Anybody could do this. I do that all the time. I get all my freaking. I got them all lined up and I do the wrong video. Somebody, a little birdie, told me in the back room that I was playing the wrong one. So yeah, there you go. So yeah, man. But like I said, shout out to the veteran in the building. Bear Truth. What's up, Bear?
BT9, what it do, brother? What it do?
MS.
Chopping it up on some Jeanty, you know?
Yeah, man, chopping it up and a little bit of Zaccheaus again. He said, "No, man, not on my watch, dude. I got to steal some time."
Hey, Scrolls will get you, man. Scrolls is hilarious.
Yeah,
mad love to the Scrolls, man. And shout out to the rest of the chat. Ant Mass just jumped in. What it do, Ant Mass? Big ups to you, brother. Thanks for coming through and checking it out. But yeah, man, I like if they have the opportunity, and I think the Scrolls is right. I think that Dallas would attempt to trade up to get him. Like, I got to throw that out there too. They might just trade up to get Jeanty. And if we trade back, I would be very surprised if they'd allow us to still, get Jeanty at the end of the day, because I think they're running back hungry. Although they did just get Javonte Williams, I personally have a lot of. I was hoping we would get Javonte Williams. There's a couple of backs I was hoping we would look at. He's one of them. Damian Pierce is another one.
Yeah.
But they got Javonte at a low wallet share deal, and given that it's so low wallet share, it makes me think that they're probably still hungry for a running back in this draft class.
I wouldn't be surprised if they doubled down.
Yeah,
I feel like, dude, go look at Marcus Yarns out of Delaware. Go look at his highlight. His pro comp is a guy. He's got really nice hair over there. Runs the ball hard in New Orleans.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And that's coming
from a couple
from
of guys who've been comp to him. So Martinez as well.
Yeah, I like Martinez. That's the two guys that you could pick up later on that Jim Miller and Pat Curran was talking about when they were over at the Senior Bowl. But they said, look at that Marcus Yarn, because he's late round, maybe even undrafted, but maybe the Senior Bowl, brought him a little bit, 5th, 6th. I don't know. I have no idea where to your point earlier, loaded draft, loaded potential.
Running back loaded. Dude. We haven't even talked about Devin Neal or
Neal. Yeah, Kansas. Yeah, for sure.
Bracial Tootin or Brashad Smith, who lit it up at the combine with speed alone.
Dude.
There's some lightning right there. There's a bunch of them this time around.
Yes,
and a lot of teams will be happy at the running back position at the end of the draft for sure.
Answer is yes every day.
Yeah.
Is Mason Graham staring you in the face at 10? Do you take him?
See, I'm glad he brought this back, Illy. Thanks, Illy. The answer is a resounding no for me, and it has nothing to do with his talent. The kid's talented as all hell, and if we didn't just grab this guy, right?
You said no. I knew where you were going, dude.
If we didn't just grab this guy, and we also had before we just had Javon, and I was like, what about Javon? But now it's this guy and Javon.
Yeah.
I don't know when he would get to play, or I don't know when the other guys would get to play. What do you do there?
It's almost like drafting another receiver at this point. And I'm not saying we have all 8 guys figured out on the defensive line. We might be 1 or 2 light, but that's to the point where you go get them later on. If we go get a running back early, I want the running back way late or even undrafted, because there'll still be some available there too. You know, especially with Eric Bieniemy in the building, he can listen. Go look at the Chiefs. Go see what they do. They turn guys. You're like, what? Look at Hunt just signed another contract. Kareem Hunt. He was sitting on the freaking what do you call it? On the couch. He got a call and he's like, yeah, sure. I'll go do something for you. I'll go kick the dust off the freaking cleats and see what he did. Pretty good too, man. He did pretty good. So
there's a bunch of those guys. Like, we'll be surprised to see who really shines in this draft class, because just looking at a guy like Jordan Mason as for instance, another undrafted free agent that winds up in San Francisco, but because of the Shanahan setup over there just succeeds.
Yeah,
bro, there's tons of guys like that available. There are 5 or 6 of them. One is Trevor Etienne. It was Travis Etienne's brother, bigger and potentially faster. So there's a bunch of them. So I'm if we wind up doing something like a Mason Graham early and wind up getting running backs towards the end of the draft, I won't be upset either.
No,
but
how it finished early, you'd be like, eek, and then later on you'd be like, all right, I'm good.
It's cool.
It's cool. Now listen, man. Special shout out one more time to our special guest, Keds the Canuck, for dropping knowledge today. Keds, once again, where can they find you, brother, before we take off?
Please like, share, subscribe, follow me at Keds the Canuck. That's me. Right here on YouTube or on Twitch. At either place, I'll be lighting it up and addressing and adding additional content as we go forward. You can catch me on the Nomad Network on Wednesday nights for the Extra Sauce Show, on Sunday nights for Nomad at Night, both at 9 p.m. Love to have you on. Most of the folks in the chat already know, but if you don't know, now you know.
Now you know. Hey, much love, Keds. And for everyone watching, we'll be back soon with more Chicago Bears breakdowns, rumors, and analysis. Until next time, guys, Chi-Town up and bear down.
Boom.